Good Friday, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Before I get onto this review, I've been looking forward to doing this review. I like to dedicate this video to my wife. My wife surprised me with this a few weeks ago, and I was just floored. So, Sarah, this one's for you. I love you. You're the best. So, my wife, a couple weeks ago, went on Savi, got me this. The Stanley Kubrick. It's only his Warner Brothers stuff. I'm completely aware of that, but still, it's an awesome set. The Stanley Kubrick English import, another English import I get to add to the Blu-ray collection. I'm running out of room. Box set. This is, like I said, this is Warner Brothers stuff. $83 on Savi. That's a steal because I saw the same box set on Amazon going for like 130 to like 170 bucks. I'm kind of in that price range. I'm not like exact. So yeah, it was $83 total steal. But I was under the impression that this was all 4K, and it's not. Only 2001 and The Shining are 4K. Everything else is Blu-ray. 2001 and The Shining have Blu-ray copies, but everything else is Blu-ray. Can play on any Blu-ray player. You don't need a region free player to do that because I tested it out. So I definitely needed the upgrade because the last time I bought the Stanley Kubrick box set was in 2007. I love this set. I know it's not all of his Warner Brothers stuff. We're missing Lolita, Barry Lyndon, yeah. I know we're missing those two, but nevertheless, I got some great use out of that set. I will never give that up. The one set I do want to get is the white ones when they reissued it in the late 90s, I think when DVDs first started to come out and whatnot, and those fetch for like $50. So if I ever come across one at a really fair price, I am willing to pay. I will definitely go buy the first edition of the Stanley Kubrick set. But so I am pretty satisfied with this set. Like I said, major upgrade. Stanley Kubrick is one of my all-time favorite filmmakers. I wholeheartedly believe he's probably the greatest American filmmaker of all time. I do. Like, oh man, like I have to collect my thoughts here because, like I say, he's one of my favorites. I do believe he's the greatest American filmmaker of all time. And I know some people are going to agree with me, and I know some people are going to disagree. It's fine. But man, and Scorsese said it perfectly. Scorsese said that one of Stanley Kubrick's films is like 10 of somebody else's films. And he's totally right. He didn't put a stamp on a genre. He conquered that genre. I mean, look at the war film. Look at Doctor Strangelove. Look at Paths of Glory. Look at Full Metal Jacket. Look at all those films, and it's just kind of like he set the bar so high. You know, you're doing, and even horror, like he even took a risk with horror, you know, because he did The Shining. And, you know, mainly when, I don't know if it's not like that today, but back in the day, you do horror, it's like, oh, man, your career's over. Like, your career's in the shitter if you're doing a horror movie. And that wasn't the case with Stanley Kubrick. I mean, he did The Shining. I loved it. I thought it was wonderful. Of course, Stephen King hated it, which surprised me because you would think King being somebody who appreciates art, you would be like, one of the greats did that. I mean, granted, it derives so far from the text. I get why you didn't like it, but I was like, dude, you had Stanley Kubrick do a movie for you. And you're just, but whatever. Yeah, so he conquered genres, science fiction, 2001. So, like, that's why I wholeheartedly believe that he's the greatest of all time. And like I said, you can agree with me, you can disagree with me, So, the box set contents, I should pull these out one at a time. Very minimalistic. It's Lolita. I watched this once, I think, on Turner Classic Movies back in the day. And that's another thing I love about Kubrick movies is like they don't have like too many features. I got off topic. I'll do that sometimes. Forgive me. I've only seen this once. It was like on Turner Classic Movies one day, and I watched it. It was like controversial films or something. So that's definitely need to rewatch. I watched this not too long ago because I do own the 4K set. And this movie in 4K, just, man, mind-blowing. And that's the thing about Kubrick, too. He's one of my all-time favorites, so I'm going to praise him highly. No matter how high up high definition gets, his films are always going to look good, and it's surprising because like back in the day when you were shooting a movie, home video was like it was not either around or something you just didn't think about. I mean, it wasn't around, so nobody thought about it. He shot 2001 like, oh man, this is going to look good at somebody's like 75-inch HD TV or what 8K TV. He never did that. And Ridley Scott was like the same way when he did Alien. When I first bought my first big screen HD TV, the first movie I watched was Alien. And I was like, holy shit, this looks amazing. And Alien's a phenomenal film. It's so, you just saw those textures and well, at least I did. And that's the great thing about these filmmakers is they didn't concentrate themselves on like, oh, this is going to look good on, somebody's TV and, home video market. It's going to be 8K. No, that just wasn't relevant back then. It was just like, as long as it looks good on that silver screen, that's all I want. It's the presentation of it all. And then, Kubrick's definitely one of those directors. So, Clockwork Orange. My all-time personal favorite. I have got this tattooed on me. And it's funny. My wife, when we moved out, I packed up my wife's DVD collection, which was very small. Because my wife lived a life. She had sit in her dad's basement like me and watch movies all the time. And this was one of the movies that was in her movie collection. And then later on, she showed me this picture of her as a Droog. So here's my wife as a Droog, cosplaying as a Droog. So yeah, one of my all-time favorites. I don't know what's going on with the 4K release of this, so I hope it comes out soon because I will definitely. This is a movie I will always rebuy on any format that it comes out on. Barry Lyndon. Do apologize about the mispronunciation of it earlier. Have to forgive me. I have seen bits and pieces of this. I saw it on IFC years ago. Why did I say UFC? Definitely one of his best looking films, and it was all naturally. He used all natural lighting, which I absolutely love the look of this film. I honestly do, and I can't wait to recheck this out again. Hold on. I'm trying to go in order here. Chronological order. The Shining. Probably one of my all-time favorite King adaptations. And I'm biased because, like I said, Stanley Kubrick's my favorite filmmaker of all time. Well, him and Tarantino. Actually, I don't Kubrick's like at the top. Like I don't have every filmmaker that I really love. I feel like they're the greatest. I do but I hold Kubrick kind of at a higher level because, like I said, he conquered genres, and I wholeheartedly agree with Scorsese. One of his pictures was like 10 of somebody else's. So yeah. What's next? I showed you The Shining. Full Metal Jacket. I think I saw this second. Like, I saw The Shining growing up, obviously. Horror classic. And it's funny because, I don't have, a lot of Kubrick memorabilia. I mean, the guy didn't do signings or whatnot. I mean, and even if he did, I couldn't afford one of his pieces. But the closest thing I got to Kubrick memorabilia is this. My Full Metal Jacket Blu-ray. Sorry. And look who signed it. Mr. R. Lee Emery himself. A friend of mine, actually a connection I had at a resale store, came across this and bought it. And they didn't really do anything else with it because it was signed. They bought it for what it was worth as far as the Blu-ray is concerned. And I joked with this person. I was like, hey, birthday's coming up. I'm a huge Kubrick fan. Come on, man. I was joking around. And I ended up getting it for my birthday. So yeah, that's the only piece of Kubrick memorabilia I own. If you could count, I mean, you can because he was in the movie. So we got Full Metal Jacket. What we got next? Box set guy out of order. I do apologize. I'm never prepared with these videos, so just eyes wide shut. The last film he did, and I remember when this came out because there was so much controversy with it. I mean, not only with the very explicit sexual tones with this film, but just it was just really controversial. I mean, Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman doing a movie like that. I mean, at least they were married, but I read stories where he had tensions building up, so they got a better performance, and that really helped, I felt. And I remember he died around that film, making that film, and everyone was like, "Oh, he didn't finish it," but he had it finished. He just didn't. There was a few things in post he had to take care of, and prior to being released. So such an odd movie for him to do. Like, but I don't know. Maybe he wanted that. And there's all these conspiracies out about his films. I just think the man did stuff because he was a genius. He wanted to leave people guessing. A great artist does that. So, and last but not least, the Kubrick documentary that has been a part of every collection, the Warner ones at least, A Life in Pictures. I'll tell you what, this thing still holds up. It really does. I know there's been a lot of documentaries about him here lately. I think his assistant did one that was really good. I forget what it's called, but his assistant did one, and that was really interesting. He was like this prominent, like, going to be this prominent English actor in like films and stuff, and like he quit all that to be Stanley Kubrick's assistant. And like, what balls that took, dude. Like, to know that you're gonna, like, you're climbing up like that ladder and just say, you know, fucking, I'm gonna work with the great Stanley Kubrick. I mean, that's awesome. I forget what it's called. I'll look it up after I get done shooting this, and I'll put it in the link below. Well worth checking out. So, and it came with this archive file thing. Let's see what's in here. So you got mini lobby cards, Eyes Wide Shut, Full Metal Jacket, The Shining. I loved his posters, man. Barry Lyndon, Clockwork Orange, 2001. This movie still all of his movies blow me away, but especially this one. When it was funny because when I went to go see Interstellar, I thought a lot about 2001. I'm like, damn, Nolan nailed it. And Lolita. And then it's just a booklet of like pictures and whatnot. But awesome set, killer price. Like, at the end of the day, I can't. That was a steal. My wife got this for, just an amazing deal. And that's kind of what I've been doing this year. I've been rebuilding my collection. Trying to rebuild my collection, trying to get some stuff, trying to get my end-all be-all titles. That will not be my end-all be-all. I will cherish that set, though, but that will not be my end-all be-all, because I know at some point they'll probably, hopefully, release them all in 4K. I know I'm getting the Clockwork Orange one whenever that one comes out. So yeah, an amazing set. I highly recommend it. Even though they're not all in 4K, it's still an awesome set. And it's Kubrick. Like I said, I feel he's the greatest American filmmaker of all time that ever lived. So that'll be it for this one. Thank you for tuning in. You know, if you like this video, hit the like button. You like the content that I churn out every so often, please consider subscribing. What's your favorite Kubrick movie? Please comment below. I want to know. So that'll be it. Like I said, like, subscribe, comment. So till next time, everybody. Thank you.